Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're going exploring the world of Tantra.
Yes. Specifically for those of you who maybe are just starting out on this path.
Okay, so maybe you're listening and thinking, okay, Tantra, that sounds interesting but kind of intimidating.
Right.
So what's a good way to sort of approach this topic, especially if, you're new?
I think a lot of people get overwhelmed because they hear things like cosmic powers
Right.
and extraordinary abilities, and those are real concepts within Tantra, but
Right.
I think sometimes people get intimidated and think, well, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But, if you really break it down, it's about understanding and applying power.
Okay.
And Mahavidyas are a really great way to look at that because they are these 10
Okay.
really fierce, powerful goddesses.
So they're like the embodiment of these powers.
Right. They embody all these different aspects of that cosmic energy.
All right, so maybe someone who's new to Tantra, maybe they've heard of a few of the more mainstream Hindu deities. Who are some that maybe they've come across?
Well, you're probably thinking of the Devi,
Okay.
Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Durga.
Right.
They're kind of like, the A-list celebrities of the Hindu pantheon.
Okay, got it.
Everyone knows them. But what's really fascinating is even those deities, even those goddesses, they have tantric counterparts. It's like their alter ego with a little more edge.
Okay, so it's not just a different name for the same thing. It's actually
It's just a different
form.
It's energy.
Different energy. So if we use, for instance, Saraswati, everyone knows her as the
Right.
goddess of knowledge, music, creativity,
Right.
very elegant, serene, beautiful.
Right.
Her tantric form, Matangi,
Okay.
is, known to be unconventional. In fact, there are even stories about how her desk is messy.
Wait a minute. So the goddess of creativity, might have a messy desk. That's kind of reassuring, actually. But what makes her different, or what are her powers? Matangi blesses artists with a captivating charisma that just makes their art mesmerizing.
Interesting.
It's not just about the skill, it's about that energy that just draws people in.
I see. So there's this underlying power. It's like it sets them apart.
Right.
So you mentioned mantras. Can you explain to our listeners, what exactly are mantras?
Mantras are these sacred sounds
Okay.
and syllables that are believed to hold a lot of energy.
Correct.
And in Tantra, these specific mantras are used to connect with the different Mahavidyas to invoke their unique powers. It's almost like a key.
Okay.
You're unlocking their blessings through sound.
So we've got these powerful goddesses.
Right.
They have these tantric forms that are, a little more powerful, maybe even a little more edgy.
A little more fierce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more fierce. And we've got these mantras that are kind of like the key to access these energies.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should know before we start jumping into these 10 Mahavidyas?
Well, have you ever heard of Kula Devatas or Kuldevi?
No.
These are deities that are actually connected to a family for generations.
Oh, wow.
So almost like inherited spiritual guides.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it just shows you how your lineage also plays a role in this.
It's like your family history is like informing your
Right.
spiritual practice.
Exactly.
That's fascinating. Okay, so we kind of have a good foundation now.
I think so.
Powerful goddesses, their tantric forms, mantras, even family deities. Should we start introducing these Mahavidyas?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's start with Kali.
Okay.
She's the first and maybe one of the most well-known.
Okay.
She's usually depicted as fierce, intimidating.
Right.
She really represents that raw power of both creation and destruction.
Wow. Okay, so if you're going through a lot of change or need to break through some kind of barrier,
Yeah.
maybe Kali's the one you'd want to connect with.
That's a great way to put it. And she's also associated with Saturn, the planet of discipline and karma.
Okay.
So if you feel kind of stuck or things aren't moving forward, calling on her energy can really help break through.
Interesting. So Kali's kind of like the powerhouse.
Yes.
Break through any obstacles.
Yeah.
What about if someone is maybe looking for deeper knowledge or maybe more intuition?
Then you might be drawn to Tara. She's the second Mahavidya,
Okay.
and she's associated with Jupiter, so the planet of expansion and wisdom.
Okay.
She's known to bestow spontaneous knowledge, things that arise from beyond your intellect.
Oh, so kind of like those aha moments.
Exactly. You just suddenly get a flash of insight, and you're like, how did I know that?
Where did that come from?
Exactly. That's Tara's energy.
I wouldn't mind a few more of those myself. All right, so we've got Kali for transformation. We've got Tara for wisdom.
Yes.
What's next?
Let's talk about Tripura Sundari.
Yeah.
She's also known as Shodashi.
Okay.
And she is considered to be the most beautiful deity.
Oh, wow.
She represents the delight of creation. She's connected to Venus, the planet of love and beauty and harmony.
Right.
So it's that, bringing those elements into...
It makes sense. Beauty and creation kind of go together.
Right.
So if someone was like really drawn to the arts or creativity or just wanted to have more beauty in their life,
Yeah.
Tripura Sundari might be someone that they connect with.
Exactly. And her worship involves this really intricate Sri Yantra, which is this complex geometric symbol.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually said to contain her energy.
Wow.
It's like this visual representation of the universe's creation.
So it's like beautiful and intricate, but also really powerful.
Very powerful.
So we got strength and transformation with Kali, wisdom with Tara, beauty of creation with Tripura Sundari. What else?
If you're seeking success and abundance in like all areas of life, then you might be drawn to Bhuvaneshwari.
Okay.
Now, she's considered to be a base Mahavidya, almost like a fusion of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, with Durga, the warrior goddess.
So like a double whammy.
Yes, exactly.
So she's offering kind of like both the material and the spiritual.
Yes, wealth and authority.
Oh, wow.
Ensuring success in like all aspects.
That's great.
And here's a really fascinating fact.
Okay.
Her seed mantra is actually considered the tantric equivalent of OM.
Wow.
So that's how fundamental she is.
It's the foundation of it all.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's like this really interesting theme emerging here, right? Like each of these
Yes.
Mahavidyas is offering us kind of a different path to power, but a different type of power.
Exactly.
Okay, who's next on our list of these cosmic powerhouses?
Next, we have Chinnamasta. She's maybe one of the most fierce
Okay.
and also enigmatic.
Oh.
Her iconography is actually quite shocking.
What do you mean?
She's usually depicted standing on the god and goddess of love, Kama and Rati, and she's actually decapitating herself
Oh my goodness.
and offering her blood to her companions.
Okay, why?
Why?
Why that imagery? What does that symbolize?
Well, it's interesting. It symbolizes the ultimate sacrifice, the transcendence of ego.
Okay.
And so, she teaches us to let go of our attachments and our desires to experience something higher.
Wow. So she's not messing around.
No.
Okay, intense. All right, what about, you mentioned Tripura Bhairavi, the source of creation and evolution.
Yeah, she's interesting because she actually controls decay and death.
Okay.
And her worship can actually accelerate or arrest decay, hinting at the possibility of even slowing down aging.
Slowing down aging.
Yeah.
Are we talking like literally slowing down aging or more of a symbolic,
It can be interpreted both ways.
Okay.
On a physical level, it could be practices that promote longevity.
Okay.
But on a deeper level, it could be about, transcending time,
Okay.
transcending the limitations of the body.
Okay.
But that's why she's so interesting.
Right. So it's like the physical manifestation is interesting, but it's almost like the deeper meaning is even more powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, what about our next Mahavidya?
Now we get into Dhumavati.
Okay.
She's a widow goddess. She's often associated with misfortune
Okay.
and Ketu, which is, one of those shadowy planets.
Right, right. So she sounds a little intimidating.
She can be.
Okay.
But, even she is a powerful force for overcoming negativity.
Uh-huh.
She is capable of bringing misfortune upon enemies
Okay.
and protecting oneself from spirits.
Oh, so she's kind of like the protector.
Yes.
Okay.
But her worship is definitely not for everyone.
Okay.
But for those who are drawn to her, it's a very powerful practice.
Okay. So if you need some protection or maybe need to confront some inner negativity,
Absolutely.
Dhumavati might be the one to call on.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see how each one of these is like a different aspect of ourselves and a different aspect of like the challenges we face in life.
Exactly.
All right, so who's next on our list of these cosmic powerhouses?
Next, we have Bagalamukhi. And she's known for stopping enemies in their tracks.
Whoa.
She can even halt their thoughts and actions.
Wait, so she can stop like thoughts?
Yes. Imagine being able to just silence your inner critic.
Ooh, that's a power I think a lot of us could probably use.
Right. Or just shut down negativity
Right.
from external sources. But, with great power comes great responsibility.
Okay, so there are warnings.
Oh, absolutely. Her worship, if used against innocent people, can backfire tremendously.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's not about, like, manipulating or controlling others.
No.
It's about cultivating.
It's about that inner strength. It's about protecting yourself,
Okay.
but not harming others.
Got it. So, once again, each one is giving us a different kind of power, but it's really up to us to use it wisely.
Absolutely.
Okay, who's next?
Remember Matangi?
Oh, yeah. Tantric form of Saraswati.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, as a Mahavidya, she is in a league of her own.
Oh, really?
She governs the mantra shastras.
Okay. Mantra Shastras. What's that?
So it's basically the ancient texts that teach about mantras and their power.
Oh, okay.
And she is considered like a master of these teachings.
Okay.
Her worship can actually help with public speaking, attracting fame and recognition, and also just understanding the power of sound.
Oh, that's interesting. So if someone was, like, in the public eye or wanted to be,
Yeah.
or just wanted to really be able to, I don't know, express themselves more authentically,
Yes.
she might be one to connect with.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. All right, who's our last one on this list?
Last but not least, we have Kamalatmika.
Okay.
Now, she is the tantric form of Lakshmi, and she is the embodiment of wealth, prosperity, and also like this deep sense of contentment.
Wow.
So it's like the ultimate abundance, but there's a catch.
Oh, there's always a catch.
There's always a catch.
Yeah.
Her worship is said to require a harmonious environment.
Oh, okay. So it's not just about acquiring, material wealth.
Yeah.
It's about having this.
It's about that inner and outer balance.
Yeah, okay. So if someone is really looking to create more peace in their life.
Yes.
And just really cultivate that sense of contentment.
Exactly.
She's the one to call on.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So, wow, we covered a lot of ground here. We talked about the 10 Mahavidyas, all their unique powers.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up this section, I'm curious, you mentioned earlier that finding a guru is really important before engaging in these practices.
Absolutely.
Like, why is that so important?
Well, these are very powerful forces.
Okay.
And you don't want to just jump in without any guidance. It's like playing with fire.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And I've heard, finding a true guru is a challenge.
Oh, it can be incredibly challenging.
What are some of the, red flags to watch out for?
I think one of the biggest red flags is if a guru prioritizes personal gain over your spiritual growth.
Oh, okay.
They might make outlandish promises.
Okay.
They might demand blind obedience. They might try to control your life. Got it. Whereas a true guru will empower you.
Okay.
To find your own truth.
So it's about finding someone who's really going to guide you to self-discovery, not just tell you what to do.
Exactly.
So trusting your gut is really important.
Very important.
Okay. What else do we need to be aware of when, kind of approaching Tantra and these Mahavidyas?
One thing I always emphasize is that authentic spiritual progress takes time.
Okay.
It's not about instant gratification and quick fixes. It really is a gradual unfolding of awareness and transformation.
So it's like a lifelong journey.
Exactly. And sometimes it even unfolds over lifetimes.
Wow. Okay. And speaking of powerful forces, we can't talk about Tantra without mentioning Kundalini awakening.
Right.
What's that all about?
Kundalini awakening is like a surge of energy
that
rises through these energy centers in your body called chakras.
Okay.
And, it can be really profound. It can be incredibly transformative, but it's definitely something that is best approached with a deity and a guru.
So is Kundalini awakening something that just kind of naturally happens on the path?
Exactly. It's not something you should force or try to control.
Okay.
When you focus on your practices, your spiritual practices, with sincerity and devotion, the Kundalini awakening will unfold organically when the time is right.
So it's about focusing on the practice, trusting the process.
Exactly.
Not trying to force anything.
Exactly.
That's great advice.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's really about surrendering to that process.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the 10 Mahavidyas.
Yeah.
We've talked about their unique powers. Even finding a qualified guru and Kundalini awakening. Like, what does this all mean for our listeners?
It means you have a choice.
Okay.
You can choose to stay right where you are.
Uh-huh.
Or you can embark on this journey of self-discovery.
Okay, so it's like we're giving them a roadmap.
Exactly. We're giving you a roadmap to navigate all these different...
Like the depths of your own consciousness.
Exactly. And to tap into this unlimited potential that's within you.
That's a really beautiful way to put it. It's almost like, we all have these incredible powers within us, but we don't know how to like access them or how to use them.
Exactly.
And it's almost like these Mahavidyas are showing us a way to do that.
Absolutely.
They're like the guides.
Yes.
Now that you've learned about all these incredible Mahavidyas, like, which one resonated with you the most?
Yeah, that's a great question to ask yourself because, you know, that might reveal something about your own aspirations.
Right.
Or the areas in your life where you're seeking growth.
So maybe you're really drawn to, like, Kali's fierce transformative energy.
Right.
Or maybe you're more into Tara's wisdom.
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe, you know, Bagalamukhi's ability to stop negativity is really speaking to you.
Yes.
Each one has these, like, unique gifts. And exploring those connections can really give you a deeper understanding of your own path.
Absolutely. And there's no right or wrong answer. Yeah. Whatever resonates most strongly with you is the one that's calling you forward.
Right. So this has been a great deep dive, and we've just, you know, scratched the surface.
Absolutely.
But hopefully we've sparked a little bit of curiosity.
Absolutely.
What final thoughts would you like to leave with our listeners?
You know, remember, knowledge is most valuable when you can actually understand it and apply it.
Okay.
So take some time to reflect on what we talked about today. You know, which Mahavidya calls to you. What are you ready to transform?
Yeah.
The answers lie within.
I love that. I love that. We want to hear from you. Tell us your thoughts, questions, and which Mahavidya resonated most with you.
Yeah. And if you're eager to continue this exploration, subscribe to the Tantric Quest YouTube channel. Leave your comments. There's a whole world of knowledge waiting to be discovered.
Amazing. Until next time, keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.